Happy Monday, everybody. I hope everyone is having a good day, a good start of the day. Today is Janiyah McMichael Rogers' birthday. She is 14 today, wherever she is. This young girl is still missing. A couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, time is really, really flying. I always compared Neziah Harris's case to Janiyah McMichael Rogers' case and also Maddie Soto's case. Now, the only difference is that Maddie Soto was found. Her body was found because her mother's boyfriend just threw her like a few feet from the road, after he killed her. It might have been an accident or whatever, but he still killed her and threw her a few feet from the road. So that's why her body was found. But Neziah and Janiyah, their similarities with their story was very, very similar. And other people, of course, recognized that as well. So I had been following the story, but it wasn't that much information that is public or nationwide, on the news, because this situation with Janiyah McMichaels happened in Gary, Indiana. So it was no information, rarely any information. It's like she was reported missing on August 11th of last year, and her maternal grandmother is like, no, it was June 10th of last year. So right then, when you have a discrepancy on when exactly this child is missing, you already know. You already know it is a problem. Now, I do have a playlist of Justice for Janiyah McMichaels Rogers, and the reason why I say that is because if you are following this case or if you're about to start following this case, I want everybody to, have fresh ideas and fresh thoughts on who you possibly think, or I should say what you possibly may think happened to this young girl. It's been a lot going on. It's been a lot. I will briefly, and I will say alleged, everything in this video is alleged, but I will briefly say, based on, everything, and I have to look at it from KC's, the bodyguard's point of view, because he's been the one that's been on this case. I have to also have my thoughts as well to it. In the beginning, he was working, of course, with Jasmine McMichaels, and that's Janiyah's mother. But they pretty much ended their business relationship, and he started to feel that, she was a suspect. She became a suspect in his eyes. Now, she was supposed to have taken an FBI-issued polygraph, which she failed. Her home was searched. I don't know what exactly came out of there. There was, people have said they just took one pair of panties, I guess belonging to Janiyah, out of there. But her home was searched. And Janiyah's mother, Jasmine, she is in a relationship, a same-sex relationship with a woman by the name of Kiara Bates. And they're saying Kiara Bates, now this is alleged on this part because I have not read her criminal records to say whether or not it's true or false, but she may have been arrested or with allegations that she may have had SA on a past girlfriend's daughter. Now, again, it's alleged. This is what was said in these communications that I was listening to. Again, all that right there, that part right there is alleged. Okay? So, with Janiyah being around somebody that may be, a pedo or had assaulted, girlfriends, children's from in prior relationship, that's suspect. Now, that same woman, Kiara Bates, has, a mother and a stepfather. Now, they're saying that stepfather, Nathaniel Walker, may have also assaulted Janiyah. So it's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot. It does put you in a lot with Naziah around so many, documented pedos, so many people that may have groomed, so many suspects. That's what I'll say. So many suspects Janiyah was around. And out the mother's own mouth, and I have the video here too, out of Janiyah's mother, Jasmine McMichael, out of her mother's mouth, Delia, that is Janiyah's grandmother, she even said that she was getting ready to go on a search and called her daughter to ask was she going to go on the search. And the daughter was like, oh, we're already searching. Come to find out, she never even left the house. She was in there asleep. Kind of throws you right back into the twin situation. Mervyn Jennings, Naziah's father, went to knock on the door and say, hey, we're about to go search. You guys want to come with? And they're like, oh, no. We already searched. Like there is a time frame of when you can search for a missing loved one. And I even said it like, damn, even if I am a suspect, even if I did it, I'm going to at least get up. I'll be up there at the crack of dawn, from dawn till dusk out there pretending I'm searching, if it's going to make me look good. But, I even said these people can't even pretend, that's the sad part. They can't even pretend. So my own feelings about this situation, I do believe the maternal grandmother, Delia, I do believe she's genuine. I do believe she has nothing to do with, her granddaughter going missing. I don't think anybody ever targeted her. I think people were wondering why at one time she was not taking her daughter's side and taking her daughter's side because, that's her daughter. And you don't really want to think that your daughter, someone that you raised, harmed her daughter, which is your granddaughter. So I get it. And if you live in Gary, Indiana, or close to Gary, Indiana, they have an event that is going on there. Here it goes right here, across the street from Church's Chicken. At the parking lot, they're going to do a balloon release, I believe, for Janiyah McMichael Rogers' birthday. I think that's really sweet. Wish I was closer, really do. So if you live close by, go and check that out in support of Janiyah. Recently, I had been following Toot when she covers the Naziah Harris case, and it seems that she invited Casey. I'm like, what? Down to an event in Detroit that Casey attended, and I could see he was very, very overwhelmed when he saw that they, had things in there concerning Janiyah. So I was like, wow, that is just so neat. Here it goes.
Down here in Detroit, from college in Detroit. I'd like to say shout out to Toot and the city of Detroit for inviting us down here to bring awareness for Janiyah, who's missing, as well as Naziah is missing down here.
See, some people do it for likes, we do it for real. Amen.
Amen.
Say less, baby. Say less. Say less. KC, I love you, bro. Salute, bro. Love you.
I do a lot of reflecting. And one of the things that I'm constantly reflecting on is, I remember at the beginning, back in August, when I think it was like the first, search party that we actually came together on. But one day, when we was out there, Jasmine and Kiara and the kids was walking down the block. So, I seen them and I pulled up on them because at that time, one of the ways that I was bringing awareness for Janiyah was to have my big speaker strapped on the top of my car. So, to kind of, bring awareness throughout the neighborhood, hitting every block with the public service announcement. But I pulled up on them and I asked them, I said, man, why is it that y'all have the kids out here walking the blocks? And they said that, they didn't want to leave them in the house, or whatever, which is understandable. So I asked them, is it cool if the kids ride with me? At least, they safe and they're not walking these blocks. So Jasmine looked over to Kiara and asked her, was it okay? But the problem I have with that is Kiara ain't these kids' mama or they daddy. You're not even married to her. But on another note, so, I got the kids in the car with me, all 6 of them. And I already have my pre-public service announcement going on through the speaker. So Deja, which is the second oldest, asked me, Mr. KC, can I say something on the mic? And I looked over at her in the passenger seat. I said, you want to say something? And she's like, yeah. So I asked her why. And she said, because if my sister heard my voice, that she would come out wherever she is. So I thought about it. I said, you know what? That sounds like a great idea.
Public service announcement. This is a missing child alert for Janiyah McMichael, 13 years old, 4 feet, 101 pounds. Last seen in Gary, Indiana, off of Virginia Street.
Thank you. Missing child alert. Janiyah McMichael, 13 years old, 4 feet, 101 pounds. If there's any information or any tips where she can be, please call 911 immediately. Please help bring my sister home.
I want to also add, yes, on the maternal side, this is just my feelings. I do believe that Dahlia, the maternal grandmother, has, of course, absolutely nothing to do with the disappearance of her granddaughter, and the maternal aunt, on the mother's side. Now, on the father's side, the father and the paternal grandmother and the paternal aunts, they have nothing to do with it as well. The father, he was paying child support. He wasn't actively, in Janiyah's life, but he was paying child support. Of course, he did not know that this was going to happen. And I'm recalling a video that I looked at, and I also did, where they called him and told him that his daughter was essayed. And basically, it looks like they were going to maybe try to this is my feelings, okay, that they was going to try to ask him to take his daughter. And I'm pretty sure that he would have, because now he's in a situation where he is, searching for his daughter. So just another terrible case. Again, so much like the Naziah case, when, Mervyn Jennings was paying child support, but wasn't actively in his daughter's life. And then she goes missing. He's literally out there on his deathbed. The hospital was like, no, you can't do this. You're being treated right now. And he's like, no, I'm still out there. He's literally looking for his daughter, while you have, the maternal aunt and grandmother, they're just in the house peeking through the window. So the case is very, very similar. But that's just a kind of update on what's going on with the Janiyah case. Today, again, is her birthday. She's 14 years old. A lot of people don't believe she is no longer living. A hard pill to swallow for the people that love her. They hope that she is just missing somewhere and she's not being harmed or hurt. Of course. I can't remember the name right now, but there was a girl that went missing. I think she was maybe 16 or 17. She went missing in Atlanta and was found in Tennessee, like 2 weeks ago, with an older guy. He was like in his mid-30s. They were found in an empty, abandoned house, okay? So she was found and alive is the best part. So you never know. Sometimes cases can have turnarounds that you won't believe. So we can only hope for the best for Janiyah and Naziah Harris as well. We have to. It's all we have until there is a body that's confirmed that this is the missing person. It's going to always be doubts about what's going on. Okay, you guys, enjoy your Monday. I'll be back. Have a great day.